Hi, my name is Doug Haywick. I'm an associate professor of geology in the Department of Earth Sciences. I teach a lot of introductory level geology classes, and one of the things that I see in students that first take these courses is that there's this initial fear that because it's a science course, they're not going to be able to do well. They don't like science, it's too hard for them. Nothing can be further than the truth. Science courses are pretty much like any other courses in that there's going to be lecture material where we're going to be presenting material to you. The one difference is that most of the science courses will have an associated laboratory with them. And it's the labs that are particularly different about the science courses that often give students the most difficulty. The advice I would give to anybody who's having issues with laboratories is to be prepared. Treat the laboratories as an additional course. In many cases it is an additional course, it has a different instructor. Be prepared for the course by knowing what it is you're expected to do before you get to the lab. Most labs have about 2 hours in which you are expected to complete the laboratory assignments. If you are taking 30 minutes at the beginning of the lab to read up on what you should be doing, then you've missed that 30 minutes of actual contact time. Read the labs before you get to lab and be prepared for what it is you have to do. And it's that point where you have some questions. If you have some questions when you're reading the introductory material, be prepared to ask those questions even before you get started. You'll be much better prepared. And incidentally, I cannot say this more. If you ever have any questions of whether it's a lecture or a laboratory, then really ask ahead. Be the person in the class who stops and says, could you clarify something? 20% of the class is going to be happy to hear you do that because they'll have the same questions as you are going to have. For laboratories, work effectively. As I said, you have about a 2-hour window of opportunity to get things done. Make sure that you take advantage of the time you've got. There should be no reason to leave a lab early. You don't get prizes or awards for being the first person out the door. In many ways, it is better for you to stay longer to get a lab finished, to take advantage of the instructors that you have in the laboratory, than to leave early. Get it all done, make sure all your questions are answered before you go home, and then you should be in fine shape. When it comes to skills, science courses are a little bit different from other courses in the sense that as scientists we are trained to be cynical. By that I mean when we hear stories or data, our job is to question that. And you'll see this in the way we actually teach the lecture material in these courses. In my discipline, geology, I'll commonly talk about mountain building techniques or mountain building processes. I will tell students how mountains are thought to occur from a geological point of view. Because we don't have an awful lot of time to go into detail on this, I will be presenting material as if it is absolutely factual. There's always a certain amount of unknown aspects about the material we're talking about. As scientists, we should be questioning those aspects. And I would like to see students questioning some of that material as well.